What's going on, guys? John here, and today we're going to be going over this SPY play from the afternoon. So we saw that real sharp decline in SPY, and then all of a sudden a spike back up. We ended up doing really good with the 409s and SPX. Held a couple 409s for tomorrow, sold most of the SPX. Unfortunately, I kept a couple and they got burned at the end of the day, but was able to get a 1 to 3, and they even went to 4 for the SPX. So that was really cool. And then SPYs went 80 cents, took some at $1.20. They went even higher, so it was really, really good. But let's get into it and see what we're looking at here. Before we do that, go ahead and start doing some more YouTube content for you guys. So if you want to hit this little join button, join the Team Algonaut, get a little loyalty badge. I'm also going to start letting those members start voting on videos just to kind of, so the people that are engaged in the channel, they get a chance to say, hey, here's what I want to see more of, and we'll just keep doing a little bit of education that way. And if you do it, it would mean a lot. But let's get into it. So here's the decline. So, hey, it just looks like going straight down to nothing. I don't see anything in the last 5 days of why this sell happened. Well, there's actually something you can look at here, which is in the first of the month, February, we have these like wick ups. So anytime you get like a crazy wick, I kind of keep them as like a point of interest. So like, this is kind of a point of interest. What's the top of this? Here's a point of interest. What's the top of this? Because they're like, hey, it can go up to this point and stop. So what's special about this point? So there's like a 405. Here's like a 406. Here's like a 406. And up here is where the highs are that I'm reading. So what you can do is, I'm just going to build this from scratch for you guys so everyone can see. Say like, okay, well, here's a point of interest here to here. And you go, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of interesting because now here's the, oh, well, this looks like a spot where it can bounce. And I'll just kind of make it look a little bit pretty for you guys. And gals, not going to discriminate. Properties. Bottom right. Okay, so you have the zone of 406.63 and 405.54 where you're like, hey, there's a probable bounce here. And not only that, but also there's a lot of room to the upside, and I know if you've been paying attention to the market lately, it feels like the bears are always out there. They're like, oh, today's the day the sell is going to happen, and that's good that those people are out there just because lately there's people who are bullish out there that think it'll go higher. But when it ever gets too out of line, where if you see everyone on Twitter, everyone on your Discord group, everyone in the same spot all saying, hey, it's got to go down right now, it's usually a bad sign, because when too many people are in the same trade, it gets you what's called, it's like an overcrowded trade, and that kind of leads to reactions. And we can kind of observe this bounce. I like the 90-minute just so I can kind of have a bigger picture, but if you go to the 10-minute, you can kind of see the more extreme reaction here. So just a low wick down. It only went to that zone for a second. So going forward in my chart tonight, and you can do this yourself too. Let's just remove all of these. Yep. So now this can become just a new point of interest for you. Said, hey, the market bottom at, was that it? 405.81. Something happened here. Someone out there, someone had to buy. So just use that as your point of interest for, hey, if there's a reversal coming, this could be a spot that's worth looking at. And you can kind of see him zoom out a little bit where, hey, where might something like this happen? So here's another one, and let's just see if any kind of bounces occurred. Oh, well, that point of interest was really close to this bottom down here. And then look at that big move that came later. So, oh, and how high did this wick up to? Oh, almost another point of interest. So they're really worth paying attention to. It's good to see how far up and how far down can these go, and how can you take advantage of it. And if you noticed, I don't know if you did or not, when we sold, it was here at 408, and where was that? 408. So maybe he already knew that point of interest over here. I did. I already had that marked for this, but same thing. You can take any of these like wild wicks down. I always love to look at them and just say like, hey, what's this trying to tell me? What's the story here? What can I make of this to play to my advantage? And then also, just to kind of, in case some of you don't know about SPX, I'll elaborate on that a little bit and won't keep you here all day. So SPX is just a more aggressive way to play SPY. It's only a single day. And it's also very very high risk thing to do. So I don't often alert them because there's a lot of people that get caught chasing them. You have to be in and out. Like that SPX call, it was worth $4 right here. At the end of the day, it was worthless. So you had about a 10-minute window to get in and out. And even that time between alerting and entering and exiting, you kind of have to have your plan already in place. So I'd much rather you guys and girls learn from this chart and how to make your own chart to say, okay, here's a point of interest, or hey, if he buys calls here, I can also go ahead and jump in the SPXs because I really think it's going to go up and play it. But you got to understand, SPXs, you don't want to swing them. You just want to be in and out quick. Like sometimes you're only in for a half an hour. If you hold them too long, they kind of just start melting away in your hand. So it's a great tool to use if you know how to use it, but it's also a great way to blow your account up if you don't know what you're doing. So I'm always kind of torn on how to appropriately share them. And it's also tough now just to share 0-day to expiry options because the new rules out there, you're not supposed to, hey, if you have a falling over 500, don't share exact strikes and entries. Well, SPX, the exact price matters because 1 second if it's 35 cents and the next second it's $5 and I say buy now and you guys see $5, I don't want anyone to get hurt or put in a bad way, but SPY's not going to change very much. The difference between SPY here at the top of the wick and the bottom was maybe 10 cents, like 90 cents, 80 cents. Some people got them for 75 cents. I think it might have really been like, I had just limit orders in, so I wouldn't. SPYs are easy. SPXs, you kind of get caught in the weeds. So just, I guess the big thing is make sure you know what you're doing before you try doing SPX. If you don't think you know what you're doing, maybe just play SPY a little bit longer. They move about the same. Just be careful. And with that, I think that's it. If you got any questions, comment down below. Try to get your comments. Thanks for all the love and support on Twitter, and we'll see you next time.